Hi, we are Etta and Arlene, and this is Weird Wednesday. Hi guys.
Hi.
This is our official Weird Wednesday, season 2. I guess this is episode 2.
This will be episode 1 since you...
Last time we just kind of did a summary of what went down, where we were at, and now we're here to actually talk about some cool stuff. And today we want to go over Starseeds. What are Starseeds, and are you one of them? So, before we get into it, if you like what we do, please like and subscribe. Check out our blog on ettaarlene.com. Follow us. All of our stuff's at ettaarlene. I guess before we get into it, I'll ask if Arlene has had any weird paranormal stuff she want to talk about. Anything weird happened to you lately? I don't really have any ghost stories.
No, not really.
I mean,
people are weird on the general basis, but that's it. I don't know.
I haven't really looked. I've been really into aliens lately, a lot. That's why I thought it'd be fun to do a Starseed thing. I don't know, ever since I had read this thing, I don't know, it was talking about how we were already involved with aliens, and there were all these different types, and I just couldn't get over it. There were good ones and bad ones and in between, and all kinds of different theories. There was this one theory I read about that greys were actually AI, which I thought was kind of cool. If you don't know what greys are just a stereotypical alien with
a
big
little
head.
big head, big eyes.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast actually recently, and it was about how this dude, he thinks aliens are basically us from the past, and that the stereotypical gray-eyed alien could potentially just be us, super evolved and time traveling.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah. I guess because our bodies, we've been evolving. We're, more hairless than ever and X, Y, and Z. But he's saying, our brains will get bigger, and then eventually we wouldn't need really big mouths because we'd be able to use telepathy. And I had always had this theory, though, similar. Not that we looked like the big-headed aliens, but I always thought that the whole ancient alien thing, I had a couple of theories about ancient aliens, but one of them I always thought maybe they were
there might have been a huge catastrophe and that they escaped a pocket of them, of these different, right? Is that what you're thinking?
No, but that's a good theory. I was thinking that they were just time travelers going back to study. Because, if you're an anthropologist, what do we do now? We, dig up bones and try to, figure out what it is. But if you had technology to time travel, why wouldn't you just, go? So I thought maybe... I always thought, there's, a carving I saw of, it looked like a dude in a spacesuit, but the spacesuit was very similar to ours. And I always felt if aliens were to have contact with us, they wouldn't necessarily look like us or have, technology and what have you that we would understand, because why would they?
I always think, I just started mentioning earlier, I always think that the ancient world was more advanced than we lead on.
Yeah, I agree with that theory as well.
And that if there was a huge catastrophe that wiped out these ancient civilizations abruptly, that they had the technology to get away and go to a different star system, and that could be why people see sightings of spaceships and stuff, is because these are, civilizations that can't, we survived somehow and started over again from square one, but they were so advanced that they got out.
Yeah, I always thought, I've always thought that was definitely a possibility. Why wouldn't we have been more advanced? Maybe
Pyramid Code. Watch the Pyramid Code.
Oh, Pyramid Code's so good. Maybe, why would we we don't know everything. Maybe their technology was a lot different than ours. And, you brought up the Pyramid Code. They talk about how the pyramids were actually
conductors.
Energy sources. Yeah. It's really in depth. I highly recommend any of you listening, watch it, because if you're listening to our podcast, you're probably all in on.
Well, just the understanding of astrology and, numerology and all that stuff. Like, that was all started so long ago.
Yeah.
Like, some of this, I'm quote me if I'm wrong, whatever, but like, I'm pretty sure we still use some of the devices that they used during Alexander the Great's period.
Yeah.
To measure constellations and so on and so forth. Probably.
I mean, I know that they knew the Earth was round. It's a myth that Christopher Columbus was the first person to think the Earth was round.
Surprise there.
Yeah.
Not surprised at all.
Well, we won't talk about that man. I guess we could talk about Starseeds now. So since we're talking about aliens, we brought up aliens because Starseeds are essentially aliens. So I pulled up a website, this girl's website I like a lot, and I'm going to read to you what she says. I'm just quoting this. This is askangels.com. She also has a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. She says, Starseeds are highly evolved souls whose origin is from the stars or the higher dimensional realms of existence. They originate in star systems like the Pleiades, Sirius, Andromeda, and Lyra. Oh man, so that's a starseed. So basically, there are people who were, have like souls that are not human. They are either from like a higher dimension or from the galaxy. Those are just a couple. There are other star systems that people are said to have a connection to. And so your soul chose to be reincarnated into this human form to help humanity. And the idea is that you are here to help with the ascension and to help expand global consciousness towards like peace and love. Insert, everybody listening, I'm assuming has heard of like an Indigo kid.
Yeah.
So those are Starseeds.
Rainbow kids.
Mm-hmm. And there's more of them, which I learned. Let me read it. There's like more. So she says the crystal, indigo, and rainbow groups are the newest generations of Starseeds. However, there are older Starseeds, which I didn't know, and they're called like the way showers. So their Starseeds are called like Blu-ray Starseeds, First Wavers, Alpha Starseeds, and more. So apparently all throughout history there have been these waves of intergalactic souls that reincarnate onto Earth to help us move forward, help our consciousness move forward, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really cool. It is very cool. So like an Indigo, they're supposed to be like the rebels, like the burn it down. I think we might have did a podcast where we talked about Indigo kids, and then there's the crystal and the rainbow, and crystal and rainbow came after, and those are more like peaceful, like rebuild what the Indigos, like the old systems that the Indigos like helped break down. So it's like, think hippies, millennials, all those generations that kind of reshaped how we perceive things. And a question might be, are Starseeds human? Yes, they are. They are human. You might identify as one now. It's just that your soul is not necessarily human. Let's see. So they say that Starseeds will have like a wake-up call planned, and the wake-up call is a series of events which were planned before your birth to awaken the Starseed to their origin truth and to their greater purpose at a specific point in time. So everything in your life, if you are a Starseed, has been led to help you remember, because whenever you are incarnated into this life, you lose all of your memory and you're helpless. So the idea is that you are this interdimensional being, kind of knowing, how the universe works, and you're going to forget everything, but you trust that things will align so that you regain some semblance of who you are. You might not remember all the nitty-gritty details, but you know what your purpose is.
I like the thought that we are who we are in this realm. You said this before. We're just fragments of our different levels of consciousness.
Yeah. So I if we're gonna get woo-woo-y, take it for what's worth. We meditate all the time.
Oh, certified meditative.
Yes, we are certified
Meditation.
in guided meditation, so it makes sense. But sometimes whenever you meditate, you do get like these messages that come through. You get
If you're open to it.
Yes, if you're open to it, take it for what it's worth. Sometimes you get thoughts. It's often like if you have a question, you can meditate, and usually you'll get the answer. And so I forget what we were meditating about, but I had this like thought come through, I guess, and it was saying that like when you choose this plane to be born in, that your body can't handle the energy, all of the energies from your like other selves, and you're fragmented. So only portions of you come, while other portions of you are in these other dimensions. So I thought it was really cool, and that's what like why we wouldn't remember everything, but it's like fractured whenever you're born. So you only get, so you know, the sense of your higher self, your lower self, you might hear people say that you don't have necessarily as much access to it because it's just too much for your form to like carry, but you can, like through meditation and stuff like that, maybe start to regain some of it while you're still like here. But okay, so the wake up call is like an awakening, and she says that the conditions for starseeds vary greatly. Some awaken to a huge understanding of their origin, past life memories, skills, abilities, and purpose for being here on the planet all at once. Others just remember enough to motivate them to take a step, and then more knowing appears as they continue on their path. Part of the awakening process, starseeds will reconnect with their multidimensional nature for their soul, the light of their higher self, and the power of their spiritual gifts, psychic ability, knowing of the concepts like light ships, multidimensional travel, advanced technology, etc. A starseed might remember they are on Earth but not of Earth, and they want to like realign with that, so they might feel like they know that they are part of the Earth but they don't feel like they're home. Starseeds choose to walk the path of love and light, though some do choose to walk in fear and darkness. Yeah, it's interesting.
I'm like,
I know. So you have some people who flip it. Before we get into nitty gritty, I'm gonna just chat. So if you recall, we were talking about aliens. So there is a alien. There's one of the star systems that's Orion, and there's actually two really interesting ones. So Lyria was actually, the planet was destroyed, and so a lot of some people who are starseeds of Lyria might have like this weird sense that the stars are their home, but they might not feel like it is home the way somebody who's a Palladian of origin might. And a Palladian origin, that individual, it's like a newer thing, so they're a little bit more like easy breezy, apparently, I guess, according to a lot, according to my research. But there are starseeds from Orion, and Orion has been plagued with like a ton of like war and stuff like that, and those starseeds are often, they wear like all black and kind of like your moody like emo kid. And some, I guess some of them maybe might, because of all the like crazy energies and stuff from their star system, might be inclined to go to the darkness.
I always thought you can thrive off of good or you can thrive off of evil.
Yeah.
The universe doesn't decipher that.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, most starseeds do the light and love route. I mean, that's why a lot of people are here who are starseeds, is to help our ascension.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going into this blindly, guys.
I thought she knew about it. I knew
loosely. I know the Indigo and the whole Rainbow Kids and so on and so forth, but I didn't dig this deep.
Yeah, like, so the Starseed is like the overall title for all of those like Indigo, Crystal, what have you groups. And so we talked a little bit about it, but those groups are waves of these starseeds that are put on Earth to help with whatever that is.
Who's putting them here?
They choose. I guess yourself. You
your higher
volunteer to come and help with the ascension because you know that Earth needs help. I guess we were on like a really bad timeline, and then you know that I guess you can be a part of that reincarnation loop, and it affects everything else if like crazy shit happens on Earth. I mean, there are people who know way more about this stuff. Like I said, I'm like a amateur. Just, this is so interesting. I didn't know. When I first thought aliens, I always thought like, this in middle of nowhere country UFO comes, sucks up the cow, or, you know, probes the owner or something. Like, I don't know. I just never thought. I always thought it was kind of creepy, kind of scary. I didn't know that it was all of this, like, it makes sense, but all of the, like, interdimensional, like, crap and interdimensional travel. There's, you know, higher cells. And,
it's its own beast that we should be taught about.
It is so interesting. And, ever since I learned about the different types of aliens, I've been on this, like, kick for a really long time. And, the whole idea of Starseeds, especially, like, we just went to the age of Aquarius, and there is this, like, spiritual awakening, and it all kind of goes hand in hand. So I've been really intrigued, and as one who identifies as an Indigo, definitely piqued my interest.
I definitely identify as an Indigo.
100%, yeah, I do, for sure. Like, everything I do is totally Indigo, but
so I have a lot of questions. I'm just gonna have to do my own research and do a follow-up.
I mean, we could do a follow-up.
We'll do a follow-up with more information, because I need to do more research. I'm like tiptoed on the outside. I never dug deeper.
I feel like every time I've been talking about this, you've just been kind of nodding along, like, oh, that's cool. I definitely get that vibe. Sometimes she does that with me.
I do with everybody.
She's like, oh, yeah, cool. Oh, interesting, juicy, love it. But yeah, it all kind of like...
Keywords.
Yeah, like, oh.
I do that.
Anyways, what are you eating for
time.
breakfast? So... Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm really obsessed with it. Oh, here's the next question. Is why do Starseeds incarnate on Earth?
Okay.
So this is our girl we love, this Ask Angels lady. She says the answer to this question is simple, is to experience the game of life on Earth, to serve humanity, to assist on the ascension, to spread unconditional love, and to be tested. Starseeds from higher realms have chosen to take on the destiny of 3D world with a special focus and purpose of serving others. Their mission often includes helping humanity to ascend and evolve spiritually and to heal the collective relationship with Mother Earth. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a second so I can tell you guys what 3D, 4D, 5D, what that is.
Oh, that could be a whole nother series.
I think we might have to do a follow-up on that. Season 2 might be all this. I'm just telling you, it's so interesting.
We could dedicate an episode to each dimension.
We could. So I'm going to sum this up really fast. I always wondered, in a lot of the circles that we're in, a lot of the, like, you know... Spiritual stuff. They talk about 3D, 4D, 5D ascension, and I'm going to just graze over a couple things. First off, we did touch on the Age of Aquarius. It's something to do with astrology. Look it up. Basically, every 1,000 years, whatever, we go through this astrological shift, and now that's the age we're in, and things change. You can see lies, blah blah, more love. It's like she said, that could be a whole episode. But anyways, so then that's that big shift, and then we have 3D, 4D, 5D. I always thought it meant like, oh, we live in a 3D reality, like 3D
we see
TV.
Things in 3D.
Yes, and
but the 4D still exists.
So there are dimensions that we can't see, like scientifically. I mean, check, Carl Sagan. There's like a really good video where he talks about like what like the 8th dimension would look like. There's all these dimensions that we cannot see with our eye. So I was like trying to figure this out whenever everybody's talking about, we have to go to the 4D. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? It's here already. We just can't see it.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, they're referring to states of consciousness. So a 3D reality belief system is where a lot of people are, and it's me versus the world. Gotta get mine.
Oh God.
The 9 to 5. Everything's very like, things just happen to you. You have no control over your destiny. You just react to your circumstances. Just pretty much what everybody's used to. Like, you listen to the authority. You don't question things. You just kind of play the game.
Cattle.
Yes. 100% is like, but I mean, if that's the life you choose, that's completely okay. Assuming you don't hurt anybody, but hate thrives in that type of
dimension.
Oh yes. So the 4D that these starseeds are supposed to help people ascend to is a more intuition based. I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to say it, but it's more about like light and love. You realize that there's more to you than just your body. More open, accepting, loving, what have you. And I guess you can, if you can live in a 4D, but you can still slip into old ways, worrying about money and stuff like that. And then in a 5D,
trivial things, worrying about trivial things.
Yeah, I mean, none of it really matters in the end. I mean, I would say. And 5D's like expands on the whole idea of the 4D, and you're worried about humanity, interconnectedness. We are all connected. We all live on this planet together.
We choose to separate. We choose to ignore other people and their feelings and their livelihood, or animals. Don't get me started on that. But every living being, every living thing is all connected.
Yeah, we breathe the same air. We live on the same planet. Like, when you get to a 45D, you're more conscious of the impact you have, and you don't feel as isolated, and you realize that there's more than just the 9 to 5. And the ascension that they're talking about is pushing humanity into this way of thinking, into this, loving themselves, the idea of unconditional love, the idea of mindfully living. I mean, like Arlene said, we need a whole episode to even...
I feel like we need a whole episode for every single subject we talked about, because there's too much information just to give in this little bit.
Yeah, I feel like
the dimensions each could have their own. Like, to explain that to somebody that has no idea what the heck we're talking about needs more information.
Even the Starseed origins,
just the Starseed origin, because, like, I loosely know, like, most people know what an Indigo kid is. Most people know... We had an episode about it, about Indigo kids, other Starseed type deals, but when you delve deeper into different star systems, like, what the fuck?
Oh, I love it.
You love it, I love it too, but I was definitely, like, one of those people who was just like, Indigo kids, burn it down, rebuild, down with the man, whatever. But this is way deeper and less woo-woo-y than people would like to think.
Yeah, I feel like we can paint over, write off. Anyways, I feel like we just, like, write off this type of stuff for whatever reason, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the idea that there's more.
The idea of dreaming.
Yes, or just the fact that there's more.
There's more. How can we be in such a vast universe, a vast fucking universe, and think that we're the only beings in general? Like, no one ever thinks about, like, when's the last time you looked up at the sky and thought, like, wow,
I know,
who created this?
It's, like, amazing.
Look at the stars.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
look at the stars. Drive an hour out the city and look at the fucking stars and be amazed. Like, everybody's too busy. We had a conversation about this today. Too busy about point A and point B and never take a moment to appreciate everything around them.
Yeah, just look at the vastness of it all.
The vastness of it. Like, we create our realities. It's real. It's true. You might not want to believe it, but guess what? You fucking do.
Yeah.
It's a reflection everywhere around you.
Like, even just, like, why wouldn't there be interdimensional... Why wouldn't there be something that had the capacity to travel interdimensionally?
Quantum physics. Google that shit.
Yeah, or, I mean, like, why do we have to understand how aliens work? Like, why would it be something that we know? Like, why... It's alien. Like, I feel like contact is going to be something that we don't get, period.
This is the perfect example. Is like, people can't even get along with other people and appreciate other people. How are they going to understand a completely different life form?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's part of the reason why things have been slowed, or, there hasn't been a lot of, like, proof out in the open, because people can't even get along with other people.
Well, on that subject, since you brought that up, the idea... Okay, this is getting weird. It is said that I'm
over here fired up. I'm like,
the Starseeds are here to get us into the 4th and 5th dimension, so that there can be contact.
Okay.
Because once we have a consciousness that is open,
Evolved
accepting,
enough.
evolved, yes, then we will able to have interactions with extraterrestrials that are not interactions revolving around thinking they're gods, not interactions revolving around hate. And it can be like, we can join this galactic federation, finally. Which I think is really interesting, because there is that theory, the name of it escapes me, but there's a theory that we have not had contact with aliens because they are hiding the universe from us. Because we're not ready
for it.
And
there's a veil.
There's
Great
a veil. Mm-hmm. And so the idea of the Starseeds is that you have these like souls that are of alien origin here to help us ascend, partially to help get us on a good timeline, also to aid with contact. They this is another episode. There are specific dates that has been channeled. Mm-hmm. There are people who channel extraterrestrials. Yes, it's really interesting. But I guess there's this time frame when there is allegedly going to be contact, which everybody's like waiting for. But it will only happen if we are able and ready for it, and we don't destroy ourselves.
So far we have to do an episode about the third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension.
Yes.
We have to talk about Starseeds, specifically group by group.
Yeah, and there's even more than just indigo. The indigos, crystals, and the
not just that. I'm saying like the actual alien. Like,
oh, we need to talk about the origins of Starseed origin.
We need to do the origins of Starseeds. I think we should throw in reality transurfing.
We could do reality transurfing, which is really cool. Definitely awesome. What else do we need to talk about? Oh, we'll need to talk about like the collective consciousness. Okay, we got a lot of episodes. We're gonna have to break this down.
So this is what the season's gonna be about. We already decided it's done.
This is
done. It's done.
If you're into this, you can check it out. We're not gonna get in. There are darker aspects of all of this, but we will not talk about any of that. I'm just gonna
We will not. We will not. We are about love and light. That's what we do. That's what we're about. We're on the good side. Whatever. So don't even come at us with that shit.
I'm just saying we will not be talking about any of that dark stuff. And when we talk about the aliens and the starseeds and stuff like that, like Arlene said, it's just gonna be the love and light. It's all really interesting. I think we should even talk about people who channel extraterrestrials because
why not? Sure, why not? Fuck it.
I think we should because it's really interesting. I remember when I first heard about so you guys might remember way back when I emailed a psychic who could channel aliens because I wanted to ask her a question about Rh negative blood, and it was like uneventful. That's when I first heard out that people do that stuff. And then I was on Tumblr and I ran into it again. It's juicy, man. It's juicy. But anyways, I think we should end this episode. I think we should
end this, and this is what the season's going to be about now.
So next week we're going to go talk more. Let's call this like an intro to Starseeds.
Yes.
But we have like, here's like, what's the deal? We have like, are you a Starseed?
How to tell if you're a Starseed. I identify with a lot of this stuff.
We can do
and you probably do too if you're listening to this.
So they say that if you find things like this that you're drawn to it, and it's probably a part of that like awakening plan. So congratulations if you're listening to this. You're probably part of the
plan. But I think it trips me out even further because I always joke with you. I'm like, if I would have saw myself 10 years from now, 10 years ago, and would tell them that I'd be doing what I'm doing, I would think I was like, wow, what the fuck is happening? But that's just the way the universe works.
Yeah. No, that's how it works. So we need to talk about the 3D, 4D, 5D dimensions, Age of Aquarius. We're going to talk about, are you a Starseed? Answer some questions about whether you're a Starseed or not. We're going to probably talk about the waves of Starseed, so the whole indigo, rainbow, crystal, and what have you prior to that. And then we're absolutely 100% going to talk about all the Starseed, or not all, because there are galactic origins that are not as popular as, say, like the Palladians, the Lyrians, the Andromedans, what have you. But we're going to talk about as many of them as we can because it's interesting. And there are ways to know if you identify as Starseed, you're going to probably want to know which, place you're from. So we're going to talk about what all of the characteristics for all of those are probably this season 2, and I think that's probably going to be this season because it's so vast.
I know, I'm like excited about this because this is an alignment with what we actually, look at and think about.
Yeah, so we'll end it now so it doesn't go into a very long episode. I mean, we're already in like a half hour, and this was only supposed to be 15 minutes. Thank you for listening. Yeah, thanks. It was all over the place, but now we figured out the direction. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, if you have any questions you want to add to it, if you have any productive questions to add to the conversation, or any topics in this category that you want us to touch on, yes. Again, we're not going to the dark side of this. We're just going to talk about, the good. Focus on the good. Mm-hmm. Man, that should be your affirmation for the day. Focus on the good. Yeah. Good aspects of your life. I'm aligned with light and love.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Like and subscribe.